Today, we're going to be doing very simple, basic pop-up cards. So here are a couple of ideas, and we'll be making another. So we'll get right to it. Oh, glad to have people on with us here. All right, so you can bring that down. The first card we're going to make, I'm doing things that you can just use from around the house. So we're not even being really precise about measuring. You know, if you're one of those people that want to measure and do everything perfectly, that's all fine. But this series isn't really about that. So to do pop-up cards, you can see we're going to do this inside card base. That's just a little bit smaller than, so here's my regular card base. So this is one card I made, and then I thought, it just looks a little bare. So I'd probably add some words up here, do something else. But I thought, for doing it online, let's do a bigger one. So I'm going to do this, but I'm going to do a bigger one. I've already stamped my words. Just want some nice big words along the side here. And so now the two size papers you're going to cut for this. This is just half of a sheet of cardstock. So it is 8.5 by 5.5 scored in half. And this is our standard size. So I just put a little bit on the front there. To go on the inside, we just go a little smaller. So I have gone, and this actually could have gone out a little more there, but you're just going to, so you could do it a few ways. You could go ahead and do half of your sheet of cardstock and then just cut it down a quarter inch each side. Or you could cut your paper first, and this time it's going to be 8 inches by 5 1/4. So it's going to be cut out like this. So it's going to go 5 1/4 instead of 5 1/2. And then 8 inches, and then score it at 4. So I hope that makes sense. And so, because you see, you just want it to fit inside. You just want it to be a little bit smaller. Oh, good. Karen just finished 2 explosion cards. Oh, I am loving seeing all the things that people are sharing over the projects that you're making. And we've several kids that are posting that did explosion cards. So we just, you know, it's so fun to see. As a teacher, I must say, it is just a thrill to see people actually use and adapt and make their own things that you teach. You know, we all just kind of share this interest in doing something, and then we can, even unless you're really, really good at copying, your cards are still going to look like your own cards, you know? So it's a good thing because this really represents us. And once you make something, then it's easy to think, okay, I'll do something a little bit different next time. So for this one, I cut out a 2-inch square, 2 squares, and that's kind of what I cut this by. So I thought, oh, okay, let's just go bigger. So this time I believe this is 3 inches. That would be 3 inches by 2 inches. I thought, we'll try this, you know, and the thing about going live is you never know if things will work, but it's all good. This is like playtime. Think back, see, kids, when you get your stuff out, you just get imaginative, creative, and you get into that zone. And we that are older, and kids as you get older, just need to learn to just do that. Just go with the flow, get in there. So this is going to be what I'm going to use. The biggest thing, you just want to make sure whatever you're folding isn't going to stick out at this end. So see, I went in 2 inches, and that was a good amount. So I'm going to stick with my 2 inches, but I could make my package bigger this way. So I'm just going to do this. Okay, are you laughing at, you know, now I could draw. Let's see, do I have a pencil? Maybe I should draw. Oh, I do have a pencil, so maybe I'll draw one and I'll cut one. So see, because this is just showing that anything goes. Okay, so I'm drawing one on that end. And on this end, oh, and some of you are saying you love the story. Thank you, Diana, for the explosion cards. I think stories are just wonderful in life for all things, including card making. Okay, so you see I just cut to the end of this, and this time I'm just going to cut right here, just right inside that little pencil line, but either way works. It doesn't really matter. And then I'm going to take this and I'm going to fold it over like this. Yeah, Lynn's saying, yeah, the taco hot dog. Okay, so this is it, but you'll just love how easy this is too. Now I'm going to open this up, and I'm just going to bend this forward. So I'll get a good crease in there, And then I will fold this flat. Now, how easy is that? And here is my pop-up. Now we're gonna see how well I cut according to this. Oh, see, and I need it to be a little bit trimmed, and that's just fine. I can do that. Let's get my little trimmer here. So even if you're cutting exactly, things don't always turn out exact. And then let's see up here. Let's see, let's put this one up here. Oh, it still needs just a wee bit. So are you the kind of person who measures twice and then cuts, or are you, someone like me who's really good with free flow and, it's only paper, it's playtime, we'll figure it out. Two different types of people, you see. And of course, gifts come in all sizes. So now I'm going to just attach these. Oh, thanks. I have done a lot of these have been fun folds, and there's a reason for that. Number one, they're fun, but also it's you can use anything you have to do them. So sometimes they've been that, but they could be other things. So this is part of a 2-week series, and then I'm thinking about what I will do after that, and we'll just see. Okay, so I like that, because now, see, that's big and bold. Now, I want to put a bow on here, and you'll see what I put. I chose this ribbon because it's nice and flat, but you could really choose anything, because it doesn't matter if it's kind of a bulky card. So for me, what I did, this rainbow paper too, I love too. It's that punch paper, and it makes me think of spring, and we're just so ready. So ready. Okay, Kathy likes to wing it and cut as she go. A lot of things are, like Lavar's saying, it's easier than it looks. And that is so true of so many things, which I think is one of the things that's fun about this crafting. Oh, that's interesting. That's not exactly what you want to have happen. Let's see. I have a feeling it might have gotten stuck on both sides. We'll see. But I think we're okay. I think we'll be okay. So I'm going to just lay my ribbon down. Okay, I'm just gonna pick a place and just put it down. And nothing about any of these has to be so exacting. And it's a little bit long at the end, so I'll just cut a bit off. See, it's a work in progress. So here's my ribbon. And then I'm gonna make a little bow, which I don't usually. And, and these videos are kind of like mini classes. So one of the thoughts that I've had is that we could continue doing this 4 days a week. Next week, we're going to go back to our regular Thursday Facebook Lives, the way we usually do things. But I was thinking about doing something like this for 4 days a week, and we could, like, 1 week do them very basic. So we just do a simple card each day, but we could focus on techniques 1 week, layouts another week. You have to let me know if you think about that. Or answering questions. If you have questions you would just like answered, because just little things that don't take a lot of time on my end to prepare, but it's a fun way to keep in touch. Well, that's, but when I tie up packages on bows, they're not so great either. So it's all good enough. So while we're all kind of spending this time quarantined, separate and yet together, but, and this is a good time to learn new things, It's very, very healing for our minds, and it's a way to brighten other people's days. And then I'm going to press this in. I have to find the right way, otherwise I have to call it a reverse card or something, Okay, so it's going to go in this way to figure out the size. Okay, and I'm going to press that down. I did get, you're going to see I have a little bit of issue here with, see, and it's going to come off here. I have a little remover. I'll take my room. And that was because I didn't clear this off, because my ribbon went up, if you noticed. Otherwise, I'll put some sequins in. It went up into here. So, God, a little too much sticky on it. But now I'm going to do this side. Oh, you know, and for those of you who are homeschooling, not by choice, you know, I think it's just very clear that the most important thing is really, this is going to be an important time that we remember, you know, a little bit of schoolwork not totally being done is not the end of the world. It really is a time to remember how we've done things, to be thoughtful, to be reading, doing things as a family, but don't stress. If you didn't choose homeschooling and now you're schooling, I think it's important to just not stress over all the things you feel you need to do. I didn't do that exactly well, but you know, it is live. And I will tell you, sometimes if I do a recorded one and something doesn't turn out, you never see it. When it's live, you see it. But I like this. Well, it's celebrating you. And so here is a much larger package, and they're both fun. I just, so it's kind of just showing you get to do whatever, you know, works. So this is card number 1. Okay. Now our next one. So what if I want to do a few different things on here? I think this is just adorable. We have 3 and they're just even spaced differently. We have these 3 little guys on here and again saying happy birthday. So for this one, here's what I'm going to suggest. This is what I do. I take just this is just some computer paper, and this is going to be my 8" by 5 1/4. So 8" by 5 1/4 if you're running. Okay, so this is going to be the size that's going to fit inside my card. Okay. And sometimes, so I would suggest doing this first at home. Now, I'm not going to. I was just going to show this because I would go ahead and just do some cutting here. And then you could test it, make sure it works, and then use this as a pattern. I don't know if I'm going to do that or not. Let's see, because I probably should, now that I made a pattern, but I think I might have put them in. Can you see how mine are going slanted? So if you don't like the look of slants, feel free to use a ruler. But the thing that's interesting, I know these are on a slant, but you'd also never know. So I could use a ruler, but I'm just going to let that be and pretend. But see, if I liked my pattern, if my pattern had been straight and worthy of replicating, then I would just use this and cut the same. And that would give me a good idea of where they're going. And then Mickey made a wedding card like this with one of the animals. Oh, how fun to do an animal wedding card. Oh, especially when it's for people that are animal lovers. And I want these to be thin enough, and I'm just guessing that's something else I could, I could measure, but I'll just figure it out. I'm going to make this one deeper. And then I'm going to make this one, I think, kind of in the middle, because I just kind of wanted them all a little separated. So the only thing that gets a little trickier is you have more of these to pull out. Now, we're doing these as just basics. We can take the same idea and do way more advanced cards for those of you who really like to putz. But my biggest interest is just getting things started. Just trying out new ideas and making things that are quick and easy. Oh, do you know how multitasking gets harder? Do you remember I said this was an important part of the thing? As we get older, I guess I can't talk, and of course I don't do notes. This is exactly how I create. So I could be sitting and think, oh yeah, I forgot that. You want to do this so that was the visual on that, so that it is easy to pop these out because you know where they're popping. Okay, it gives you you can even pop them, bend them both ways if you want, but I always find this is fine enough because see, then it'll fold where you want it to fold. All right, so I'm going to take this one and go ahead and put it in my, I might as well. Trying to decide how, I am one of those people that likes to do things really fast, and we're not in any rush. None of us are going anywhere, so this will just give you time. You can create along with me. I'm going to tuck that into the corner. And my birthday one that I got a little fold, See, I must have had it smashed in on the one side, so it's just better to get it in that inside. I'll do it a little better on this one. If we, I want to get kind of the main parts here. And then when I'm folding this over, I just want to smooth it out because that would have avoided that. Okay, so here is my pop-up. And now all I need to do is put a little tape, glue dots, glue, anything on these 3 front pieces. I'm going to just do that like this. And then I'm going to put my animals on. Now I chose the tallest one to put in the middle and furthest front, but this, yeah, we'll do it this way. But see, it doesn't really matter. So that kind of got center stage. And then this guy's a little off this way. So even he's a little behind. So if you notice, I could even put more of these on. And then this guy's gonna go right here. But how cool is this? And then when it closes up, and you'll see I have that much room. So that is as tall as something can go. But now this on the top gives you plenty of space if you want to write anything more. For me, I thought these kind of difference in heights was just fine. So I put my message there. You could also handwrite your message there. You could do more stamping there. So I thought this is really a fun one. And then we're gonna do one more. And then it'll be your turn to share. So this time, I decided I wanted to use this guy and do something a little different. Now notice if I put him on here, and where I wanted to do is tall, so I thought let's make one going the other way. So this time I have my outside. So I cut my paper the long way. It's still half a sheet of cardstock. And then my inside piece is 4 inches instead of 4 1/4 by, let's see, so this is 4 by 5 1/4. You're just gonna cut that down just like before. And this time I'm going to use this, but here's another thing. You know, he's got his tail here and I don't want his tail going off. And so that was part of the reason I wanted to switch to higher, because I thought, so I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna make this. So I thought, and I can make this one bigger. So I can make this whatever I decide. So we're gonna make this a bigger one. Oh, and look at my lovely slants. And you know what? It's amazing that it still works. So I wouldn't be entering this in any contest, but hey, I'm sure one of you would be happy to get it. So, and I'm gonna say, we could also do this, fold it on both sides. Sometimes that's even easier. So now when we pop it out, it comes like this. Now I just have to make sure, see when I put him on, then I can put him, because I want to see his tail. Yeah, and wait, we still have plenty of room. So what I decided to put here was, this is gonna be my grass. And so this is, and I don't care that this is gonna be a little bigger. This actually could be a lot bigger. So I'm not even gonna redo this because let me see here. Actually, no, I'll let it be like that. But it won't matter. It could be larger, smaller, whatever. And I'm just gonna make this some grass. So I'm going to fold this up. I didn't do this on the other one, but I'm going to on this one because I thought I always liked this idea for just kind of grass. And I could go and make these different colors too. And I'm gonna put this right across here. Close that up. And then we can put, whoa, then we can put my dinosaur guy right on here. And it will still close up. And, oh, and I was going to switch it here. I really should, because here's what I was going to put. Thanks for being a friendosaurus on the inside. So let me see, should I, ooh, I'm going to be brave and take this off, because I do want one finished card here. Right, so see, we'll just, if you're taking things off, so if you make a mistake, I always like to say what you want to be careful about is ruin the piece underneath. Now, so do you realize how I am tearing away from? So I don't care what happens to the piece on between. This is the part I'm trying to save. So this part is still in good shape. So another little tidbit there. And now I'm going to put this on because I just think the words help balance it. Okay, thanks for being a Friendosaurus. And I'm going to put this right inside of my card. So is your mind racing with ideas right now? Yeah, nothing in crafting is impossible. I'm glad you guys like this. The heating tool, yes, can soften the glue too, but I'm way too impatient to do that. Now, see, this is the trick, because I do this wrong sometimes. It's the only thing. I want to make sure that this goes in the right way. So I'm going to put this in, and I'm going to put that right in the middle. That wasn't the middle. There's the middle. Just so, and again, you know, it's just paper. We don't have to be exact. And then I'll close this and do this. So I hope you're coming up with some ideas and that you just see how simple this can be. So again, you can be way more exacting than I am, but I also just want to show you, you don't need to be. That this is just paper, ink, and scissors. But I thought, no, isn't this a fun card? You're roarsome. And then you open it and thanks for being a Friendosaurus. And here you've got your place to write your message. And it is just a fun. Carol says she's on overload with thinking I have ideas. Yes, I said, so here are 3 to get you started. So we've done a single one with things that are bigger than the image. We've done one with a few things on. And then we did with a single